So, third Turo scam. You have one more car left that's not completely destroyed.
I don't know if you would classify this one as a scam, but it's definitely used in illegal activity. That I know. Okay, so this one gets a little bit more seedy, and it actually involves members of everybody's favorite ICE, Homeland Security, who nowadays is very famous. At this time, this was before Trump was obviously in office, so you didn't really hear too much about them. Yeah. Well, my law enforcement background, I knew who to contact because of this particular situation. So. Same thing. This must be a thing. I don't know. Maybe they should restrict old ladies from renting.
Right,
dude. It gotta be something. But I don't know. Like
you're 0-2 for old ladies.
If you can ghost who the host is or who the client is and who is going to drive the car, then like there's no recourse. Like you're not going to add any drive. Who do you know? Like you bring a sweet little old lady. You never think like something's going to go happen. So I think that like kind of makes
this.
you.
You're not racist. You're not sexist.
I'm not ageist or whatever you call it.
You are a little ageist, bro. You're ageist, bro. If some lady's trying to rent my shit, she's over 65. Hit the bricks.
You shouldn't even. You don't want to hear my opinion about senior citizens on social media. Then.
Oh my god, no, they shouldn't be allowed. They should be illegal.
I think after 55, you have to go to like how they make you drill those little puzzles to make sure you're not a robot.
Yes.
They should have like little tests.
Yeah, but the test is 2.5 hours long. Yeah. And grandma's just sitting there clicking away like, golly, I just want to talk to my uncle.
Playing Snake on the Nokia phone, just keep going around.
Yeah. I think that's a good concession. After 65, no social media.
I think even before that. I think they're too out of touch. I say after 55 is when you got to start. Like, when they start collecting Social Security, right? What is that? 59, 62, somewhere around there?
And so no social media because their brains they can't handle the technology. And then on top of that, drugs are legal.
Drugs are what?
Legal.
Drugs are legal.
For the old people.
What kind of drugs, though?
Little MDMA, little mushrooms,
I see some 80-year-old guy's balls bounce around Bedford Avenue while he's having PCP episode.
Okay, all right, we don't need PCP, but I'm just saying, give him a little bar, you know what I mean? Let him have a little Xanny if they want. He's 90 years old, he serves his country, bro. Yeah, he was in Vietnam.
I could see lessening the restriction on certain things for old people, that's for sure. They've been through a lot, Social media, though, is just not for them. I'm sorry. Just over and over again, you just see people embarrassing themselves, and they're usually older people, Facebook boomers.
Anyway, I've got us off track, okay? Some old lady...
Even so.
Okay, going back to take your car.
So now this old lady rents the car. I think nothing of it. Okay, the car comes back, and now I'm wary, so I don't go and check the axle, but I get on, like, my hands and knees, I'm checking the thread, I'm taking really good pictures of everything, because I don't want what happened with the previous car to happen again. Okay, she rents the car, it's about for maybe 5 days or whatever, right? Same thing, I have a tracker on this car. When you rent it in Nevada, I'm assuming maybe you'll take it to California, maybe you'll take it into the mountains, or Zion is close, Utah, places like that, whatever.
And this is the range?
This is the big Mercedes. Okay, so she rents the car, and the GPS is giving me like a signal, like where the car is and stuff, and I see it like crossing border, like to Mexico. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, going from Arizona is one thing, California one thing, or whatever, but now you're crossing into Mexico.
It's also not a close drive.
I don't know the rules on that, though, with Turo. I didn't at that time as well. I wasn't really too familiar with the rule of taking it, because I never thought that somebody would take it and go down the border.
How far is Vegas to Mexico?
I want to say maybe 8 hours.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a little, like you're not in San Diego, right. Like, a little 45-minute drive.
Because from Vegas to a certain spot in Arizona was about 5, and I think that spot in Arizona, I don't want to say what city, I forget the name. It was maybe Phoenix, but from Phoenix to the border is only a few hours.
Right.
So you kind of got to figure whatever, like there's a straight shot or going to California down to San Diego. Long story short, the car comes back. No problems, everything, but now I'm going to rent it out again. So obviously you have to clean it up and everything. I find these passports, Mexican passports, American passports. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Where are they, under the seat?
No, they're actually, some are in the glove compartment, and then like I found, I guess you could say like a wallet, like a woman's kind of wallet, whatever, under the seat that had like social security cards, all kind of like different identification for different people. None of them matched the lady that I rented it to.
They look legit?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know Mexican passport, but the U.S. passport looked legit. The Social Security cards look legit. They almost look brand new. I couldn't compare it to a real one, but if I had to say this was a real Social Security card, I would say so. Especially with my background in law enforcement, having stopped people look at their ID, Social Security card, it looked pretty similar. So I really didn't know what to do at that point. I didn't know, what was going on, this and that. I reached out to a buddy of mine in law enforcement down in Vegas, and he was like, maybe you should contact Turo. And I was like, I told him the whole fucking story or whatever about what happened with the scam. I was like, they are no help. I'm going to wind up getting some 15-year-old from Bangladesh that doesn't even know his fucking name. And, what are you going to do?
Smuggling people into America.
What are you doing? You're smuggling? You're suspended. Now you're suspended. Maybe that's
he's going to sign up. That dude's going to be like, I'll be there tomorrow.
This guy puts me in contact with one of his buddies at Homeland Security in California. I talked to him. Vehicle was pinged several times going over the Arizona and San Diego border. I don't know how I didn't see the San Diego one. So I asked him, I was like, yo, what's the story with this? Found some passports in the car, turned them into law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. He couldn't really talk on, much of investigations and stuff like that, whatever, but he said, these patterns are very similar with human smuggling. So what they'll do is a lot of these smugglers, and I can actually attest to this because I've had some cousins cross the border illegally. This was a long time ago, but this is how they did it. When my cousin came here legally, he wanted to bring his family. So in order to bring his family, young kids, if you have the money, you're not going to be crossing the Rio Grande and fucking crawling through the desert. You're going to come here, in luxury if you have the right connections and money. So he hired a couple coyotes, they call them, they work for the cartel. And my cousins came here in a brand new Mercedes, a brand new car. The lady that they were with said, hey, remember those people? She said to the border agent, remember those people, whatever I told you I was going to bring? Here they are, just like this. Whoop. No papers, no nothing. Their first time in the United States. What the Homeland Security agent was kind of conferring to me without telling me was it was a similar operation as to that. What a lot of these smugglers will do is they'll rent well-to-do cars, everything above board as far as registration, legit, this and that. U.S. plates, all that stuff. You're coming from Nevada, we were in Vegas, now we're going to Mexico, whatever excuse they use, or they have corrupt border agents, whatever the case may be. It's a lot easier to get someone in a fucking nice luxury vehicle. And I'm guessing that's what it was used for.
Interesting.
Yeah.